everybody, this is part 2 of the syllabus review video for Education 425. So hopefully you have gone through and listened to, watched, whatever you want to call it, part 1. If not, I would recommend doing that first and then coming back from part 2 or for part 2. And I have to apologize. I'm having some weird thing going on with my ear right now. So I hope this is sounding okay because I'm having half of my ear is not really working. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, so I finished off yesterday or at part 1 talking about high leverage practices assignment, and this you will post into the discussion board, okay, by Monday, November 1st. So let's go ahead and start with the next set of assignments. So you will have a graphic organizer assignment. You're going to select 4 different graphic organizers and explain how they can be used, in various classroom settings. The only one you cannot use, I'm going to just go ahead and tell you this now, is a KWL chart, what I know, what I want to know, what I learn, because that is the example that I will share with you. So any graphic organizers that you've used, that you've seen in some of your classrooms, anything that you've used, and that's why I'm going to have it as a Flipgrid post this time, because there's some really neat graphic organizers out there, and we're going to learn about how important graphic organizers are to students with disabilities, how helpful they are, how beneficial they are. So that's why I want you to post that assignment as a Flipgrid post so everyone can benefit from your post. Okay, and then the last, bringing it all together. So this will be your 4th instructional activity. Remember up here, I talked about the first 3, right? I talked about the first 3, October 4th, October 25th, and November 15th, okay? And you don't need a lesson plan, anything fancy like that for the first 3. But for the 4th one, this is going to be your final project, your final bringing it all together. And as I said in part 1, you do not have a final exam in this class, okay? But this is your final project. So what you're going to do, and these words right here are exactly what is written up here. Okay, I just wanted you to make sure to make sure that you realize they're the same thing. So you're not like, wait, is that something different? So that's why I said same as above. Okay, so for the 4th one, you will write and submit a lesson plan to go along with your presentation. You will also include at least one component of universal design for learning. Again, we will talk about that, and I'm sure you already discussed that a little bit in 420 with Dr. Murphy, I believe. And we're going to take one part of your activity, your lesson plan, think about how you could adapt it under the UDL framework. Okay, so for this final project, it's 25 total points. The instructional activity is 10 points, so same as above, right? These are all worth 10 points each, okay? 10 points for the instructional activity, 10 points for your written lesson plan, and then 5 points for the UDL component and how you incorporate that. So it's a total of 25 points. Again, it is due December 3rd, which is before the last day of classes, right? So once you're done with this on December 3rd, you are done with the class. And that's why I did it. I know final exam week is very stressful for many of you. So, I kind of like to finish things up before the actual final exam week. All right, so those are the assignments. Here's the breakdown. Flipgrid post, podcast questions, instructional activity 1, 2, and 3. Chapter quizzes, 10 points each. Principles of effective instruction, Flipgrid post, IRIS module, high leverage practices into the discussion board, graphic organizers, Flipgrid post, and then your instructional activities. I know it looks like a lot of stuff, y'all, but it is a lot, but hopefully it's all relevant to you. Hopefully you will find something in every one of these assignments that you can use with your future classrooms. Okay. And I also, I don't have them worth the assignments. They're not worth too many points, right? Because I feel that there's more than one way for you to show me what you're taking out of this class. When I first started teaching here, I started teaching, it was Education 380 at the time before it became 420. And when I took it, and mind you, this was 9 years ago. So when I took it over from the professor, the only assignments that person had, the semester before me, they had a midterm exam worth 100 points, a final exam worth 100 points, and a presentation worth 100 points. And that to me, I'd rather have more assignments, but have them worth less points. I don't want you to stress out and freak out over assignments. That's why I give you a lot of smaller assignments worth smaller points. Okay. So, but hopefully you will find them relevant and useful to you. All right, so here's some course policies. Your responsibility to check Blackboard. Sometime when I put an announcement on Blackboard, I always check the box that says send an email, to the class as well. So there really shouldn't be any excuses for you not to get them. Assignments are due by 11:59 p.m. Here's, some email guidelines. It is one of my pet peeves, honestly, to have unprofessional emails sent to me. So just be mindful of that. Think about how you're going to interact with parents down the road, other teachers, principals, other professionals. Just start getting in that habit now. Okay, and just some other policies and information that you've probably seen 8,000 times. I know Dr. Gunther has these in her syllabi, if you've taken classes with her, because she and I kind of compared. So just some stuff, if you do have any disabilities or anything, nothing is really timed except the quizzes. I think I set a time limit. So if you need any accommodations, you have to make sure that you follow up with the Counseling and Testing Center, and then I will hear from them. Also, I wanted to put this in here, CASA. Remember, if you need anything about tutoring, writing assistance, tutoring, math tutoring, anything like that, not necessarily for this course, but for any of your other courses, make sure to keep CASA in mind. And I believe they are still doing virtual appointments. Also, one other thing that is important to note this year, we are back to an actual day when you can withdraw from a course with a grade of W. So that date is October 22nd. I know in the past, 18 months, it was kind of, the last day of the semester. So it did change back this semester. So I wanted to make sure to make you aware of that. And then you have up until November 22nd to drop with a grade of W or F, or, kind of up to the professor's discretion based on your current grade. Okay, so we're back to a paper drop form. So if you do need to drop this course, you will need to pick up the form in the registrar's office. Of course, my hope is that you will not need to drop. I think there are only 6 of you, so I'd like to keep all of you. There might be more, but last I checked, I think there were 6 of you. So hopefully you all can stay, but we all understand that things happen. So just remember, October 22nd is the last day for a W. All right, so here's the tentative schedule. Again, make sure to read this disclaimer. I do try to keep things as kind of in stone as possible, but sometimes things happen, right? I think one year there was a hurricane and we were closed for like 4 or 5 days or whatever. So of course I had to make some adjustments. If you do have COVID, or if you are, if something is going on, just try to touch base with me before the assignments are due. I know I had some graduate students with COVID. We all know COVID has not gone away yet, fingers crossed, but that it will go away. But don't wait until, let's say this is due September 20th. Don't wait until September 22nd and be like, oh yeah, I have COVID. So if you feel I am trying to be more flexible, but I also, hold you to deadlines. So just talk to me ahead before the assignment is due. Okay. If you think you might need a little extra time or something like that. None of these assignments, I know, again, like I said, it looks like there's a lot of them. None of them honestly should take you too terribly, terribly long. Hopefully I don't think that you need to spend hours on any of these assignments. The IRIS module might be about the longest. I think the choices, each of them should take you about an hour, which isn't terrible, right? So again, most assignments are due on Friday. Remember, if they're not, excuse me, I take that back. Most are due on Mondays. My bad. Most are due on Mondays. If they are not due on Mondays, I have them highlighted in blue. So your first Flipgrid post is due Friday, September 3rd. Chapter 6, 7, and 8 quiz is due Friday, October 15th. And then chapters 9, 10, and 11 quiz is due Friday, November 12th. Okay, everything else is due, like I said, on Monday, not Friday, Monday. And then again, final project is due December 3rd. And then the last day of classes is December 6th. All right, so that is the syllabus. Again, I will do videos closer to each assignment. And, I will probably group some of the assignments together and say, I should just stay down here where I was. Okay, here's a video about the Flipgrid, and here's a video, and the quiz, which are very, self-explanatory. Just go on Blackboard, take the quiz, do what it says. So I'll probably do a video about the Flipgrid post and the podcast. Okay, so I kind of group a couple things together, but I will label the video as such. It will say, intro, Flipgrid post, and podcast assignments video, or something like that. All right, so that's the syllabus. Let's go back real quick just to the calendar. So classes begin. There's your smiley face, Flipgrid post, quiz 1. Now that you know what I'm talking about. So again, I should not have done this in the first video, but that's okay. Podcast questions due, principles of effective instruction, Flipgrid, quiz 2, first instructional activity due. And your first instructional activity, they might take you a little bit of time to prepare, but again, none of them should be hours and hours and hours. Quizzes, I think the limit for the quizzes, the time limit, it's either 20 minutes or 30 minutes. I'll have to look, but they're only 10 questions. So those should not take you too long. Iris module questions, second instructional activity due, high leverage practices, quiz 4, third instructional activity, graphic organizers, that'll be a Flipgrid post as well. Again, just because I want you all to learn from each other. And then your final project is due December 3rd. And then again, as I've said, you are done. Okay, graduation's not till the 18th. So last day classes, reading day, and then exams. But again, you will be done with this class on December 3rd. All right, I think that's it for now. I look forward to working with all of you this semester. My office is located in CEMC. I will be I'm still trying to figure out my schedule, as I said in part 1. So if you happen to be in the area, just stop by if you want to say hi, or just send me an email and let me know you want to come say hi or chat about something, and we could set up a time to meet. All right, I look forward to working with you all again, and let's have a great semester.